Hi guys, welcome to the channel of love. I thought we'd do a different type of reading today. So I was drawn on to read some passages from some books. I've got 4 books here. And then I did pick up the tarot cards, some tarot cards. Oh my goodness. We're going to get the words out. Well, I plan on speaking quite a lot of words. Anyway, we've got 4 books here. And I feel like we're going to play with the cards. We'll have a play with this reading. Let's pull a card from the Rider-Waite Tarot. Oh, what a feeling when we're dancing on the ceiling. Okay, so my plans are... What are your plans, Lucy? My plans are to pull one of these cards, pull a card from the Channel of Love, pull a card from my little orange cards, see what they say, and then flick through the first book, which I'll tell you in a moment what that book is. Let's get a tarot card first. I feel like this will be an educational reading. Okay, we have the 5 of Swords. 3 masculines on this sword. One looks as if he's a little bit sneaky, sly. Have a look. It's like that light's highlighting up his skirt. So what guidance does this masculine need? Let's see what card from the Channel of Love wants to come out. Who is the guidance actually for? Is it for this character here, or is it for one of these characters? Okay, Channel of Love cards. The Student. I felt this was going to be an educational reading. Who has a lesson to learn? Lessons in love. Well, let's see what wants to come out. Let's get a card from the orange deck. Do you fancy a drink? Interesting. The Student. Do you fancy a drink? And the 5 of Swords. Now, the book that is sitting right next to me, I've got 3 that are over here. But I have a book just right beside me. That's interesting. It's got a nail file in there. I don't know how that got in there, but there's an emery board. Should we go to that page? It looks like it's been bookmarked. I did not do that, and I just picked this book up off of the floor. I got the other 3 out of a box. This one was on the floor. Okay, should we go to where it's bookmarked? Let's do it. Are we going to read from where it starts there? How about from this paragraph? Let's do it. Let's see what it says. Right, let me just show you the cards again. The Student, or PP, if that resonates with you. And do you fancy a drink? The moon has cycles or phases too. In ancient traditions, the sun was often seen as male energy, but the moon was a goddess. Excuse me. It's like I was just about to choke then. Okay. Right. I'm not sure what that's all about. The moon has cycles or phases too. In ancient traditions, the sun was often seen as a male energy, but the moon was a goddess. After all, the moon rules the flow of fluids in the body, including our menstrual cycles. It also rules the flow of fluids on and in Mother Earth, including the tides in the ocean and the fertility cycles of many plants and animals. There are times of the month when the moon is full and abundant, and times when it's invisible and has no light to shine on anyone. Well, that's interesting, because I felt the energy of the light, there it is, shining on the skirt. This may not be a masculine, this may be a feminine. Okay. Those who work with plant medicine very often follow the cycles of the moon for planting and harvesting. It's also instructive to notice how the moon affects the cycles of your life. The waxing moon and full moon are times when things are birthed and come to fruition, while the waning moon is a releasing moon. When the moon is waning, it's a good time to release what is no longer needed, including old resentments and hurts. The new moon is a time to plant seeds of new intentions. Lunar eclipses and solar eclipses often cause agitation and upheaval in people, and there's research showing that we who have worked in obstetric wards have long noticed that births occur more often when there's a full moon. Pay attention to the phases of the moon and reflect on what you want to bring in and what you want to release, because it's no longer serving you. I want to read one more paragraph. The planets have cycles of their own. While the astrology forecasts in newspapers and magazines are harmless fun, actual astrology, which uses detailed charts and looks at the positions of all the planets when you were born compared to their positions now, will help you see how your cycles fit in with larger cycles. If you choose not to believe in this form of divining based in nature, that's fine. But for many people, including me, astrology is a tool for becoming aware of life patterns and societal patterns. Astrological charts are blueprints of the soul's journey. I have a solar return chart done every year by a professional astrologer to see what major energies will be influencing my journey. Knowing my astrological forecast helps me be conscious and prepare for what I'll experience, including spiritual lessons. It's kind of like when you consult the weather forecast to see whether or not it would be a good idea to take an umbrella or light jacket. Being prepared keeps me from feeling victimised by circumstances. There are no bad charts, but sometimes the planets' positions show that you're going to be dealing with something challenging. That's very interesting, because that took me to yesterday's reading of the Wheel of the Year, like a yearly forecast here, and that's what she mentioned, that's what she does every year. Gets a forecast. Okay. Very interesting. Nail file. It's taken to the energy of someone maybe biting their nails down. The next book I'm going to use is Ask and It Is Given. Let's pull a tarot card. Still trying to wonder what that do you fancy a drink is. I felt like catching you at the right time of the month. Right, let's have a look at the next book. Ask and It Is Given. What tarot card would you like to give me? Oh, it's definitely highlighting this person here, isn't it? Okay, so you're flat on you're not flat on your back, are you? You're flat on your front. And you've got 4 swords, like, in the back, the top part, in your neck. And then there's 6 on the bottom half of your body. Hasn't even reached your legs. It's like your torso. A 10 of Swords. It's like you're being pinned there until you actually see the light. You can see that the darkness is rising. Okay. That will fade away, but you're being held there. That's what I feel. By your own torture. Right, let's get a Channel of Love card. So the student energy, and what's coming through is this is your own doing. This is encouragement. So this is there's something here about undoing this mess. You can undo this. This is your own doing, and it will be your undoing as well. So this is encouragement here. You want some encouragement. Let's have a look at these orange cards. Ask and this is given. You would like encouragement here? I shall give you encouragement. Are you joking? No. Right, let's have a look. Let's see what magic wants to come out of ask, and it is given. Okay, let's have a flick through. Well, that's a very short paragraph. Playing this game will cause you to offer a more expansive, expectant vibration, and it is our promise to you that manifestations will begin to arrive in response to your changed vibration. Okay, so the energy here of this is your own doing, it's like you signed up for this game, you decided to play. And this game will cause you to offer a more expansive, expectant vibration. And it is our promise to you that manifestations will begin to arrive in response to your changed vibration. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at will change. I've been taken to the last book we're going to be delving into, which is Don't Die With Your Music Still In You. Anyway, we'll get to that in a moment. First, let's deal with this card. Are you joking? No, we're going to deal with this card. Chapter 21. You are only 17 seconds away from 68 seconds to fulfillment. Should I repeat that? You are only 17 seconds away from 68 seconds to fulfillment. Chapter 21. With only a few seconds of focusing your attention on a subject, you activate the vibration of that subject within you, and immediately the law of attraction begins to respond to that activation. The longer you keep your attention focused on something, the easier it becomes for you to continue to focus upon it, because you are attracting, through the law of attraction, other thoughts or vibrations that are the essence of the thought you began with. Within 17 seconds of focusing on something, a matching vibration becomes activated. And now, as that focus becomes stronger and the vibration becomes clearer, the law of attraction will bring to you more thoughts that match. At this point, the vibration will not have much attraction power, but if you maintain your focus longer, the power of the vibration will become further reaching. And if you manage to stay purely focused upon any thought for as little as 68 seconds, the vibration is powerful enough that its manifestation begins. When you repeatedly return to a pure thought, maintaining it for at least 68 seconds in a short period of time, in brackets it says hours in some cases, or a few days in others, that thought becomes a dominant thought. And once you achieve a dominant thought, you will experience matching manifestations until you change it. Remember that the thoughts you think equal your point of attraction. You get what you think about, whether you want it or not. Your thoughts equal vibration, and that vibration is then answered by the law of attraction. As your vibration expands and becomes more powerful, it eventually becomes powerful enough for manifestation to occur. In other words, what you think and in brackets it says, and therefore feel, and what manifests in your experience is always a vibrational match. Okay, there's one more segment to this chapter. Your uncontrolled thoughts are not to be feared. Once the law of attraction is understood and accepted, which usually does not take long, since there is not a shred of evidence anywhere in your environment to refute it, many people become initially uncomfortable with their own thoughts. Once they understand the power of the law of attraction and they begin to examine the content of their own mind, they sometimes worry about the potential of what they may now be attracting through their uncontrolled thoughts. But there is no reason to worry, and your thoughts, for they are not like a loaded gun that may wreak powerful and instantaneous destruction. Let me just read that again. But there is no reason to worry about your thoughts, for they are not like a loaded gun that may wreak powerful and instantaneous destruction. For although the law of attraction is powerful, the basis of your experience is that of well-being. And even though your thoughts are magnetic and expand with your attention, you have plenty of time, as soon as you become aware of any negative feelings, to begin to choose other, less resistant thoughts and thereby choose a more desired outcome. Remember, you can allow it or resist it in varying degrees, but the stream of well-being always flows. So even a small effort made toward choosing a better feeling thought will net you obvious results. And once you have taken that step, and you do find that better feeling thought, you have given yourself the conscious freedom to go from wherever you are on any topic to anywhere you want to be. Once you deliberately choose a thought and consciously feel the improvement in the way you feel, you have successfully utilised your own guidance system, and you can now be on your way to the freedom that you desire and deserve, for there is nothing that you cannot be, do, or have. Okay, let's move on. My daughter's quite loud as of late, jolly loud, so you may hear her with her friends in the background. The Vortex is the next book. Let's get you into the vortex. What's in the vortex? What is the vortex? Okay, where the law of attraction assembles all cooperative relationships. Look at those masculine and feminine symbols there. Shall I read the back of it for you? Let me read the back of the book. This book actually comes with an audio, which is very good. Okay, let's have a flick. It's what somebody wants, this audio. I think you may have to buy the book to get the audio. Oh my goodness, it's like you've nearly ripped it. Oh, you wanted me to show you the other books? Well, there's some other books there. We've already read that one there, Ask and It Is Given. We've just done that one there. I can't really see what the other books are because let's take the audio out. What other books? Oh, there's a lot, isn't there? What are these books? Let me read them to you. The Law of Attraction. The Amazing Power of Deliberate Intent. I have that book, but not with that cover. The Astonishing Power of Emotions. And, what does this one say? Money and the Law of Attraction. Oh, look, that's the one I got. Okay. Oh, that's the one that actually is kind of ripped there, you see? Money. Oh, and that one there. What were them ones? What do you want to know about? The Amazing Power of Deliberate Intent. I don't have the money one. Okay. Money and the Law of Attraction. All by Esther and Jerry Hicks. Let's put this disc back in. Okay. And we should read from this book. Well, first, let's pull a tarot card. Let me just have a little bit of my coffee. Well, that's all I have is just a little bit left. Ooh, just a little bit hot, just a little bit me in the middle, let go, just a little bit more. Well, there you are, the King of Pentacles. Give me just a little bit more. Okay. Let's give you just a little bit more then. The King of Pentacles here. Right, let's go to the Vortex. I was going to read the back of the book for you, wasn't I? A blueprint for understanding and implementing your own destiny. That's interesting because it was Dr. Wayne W. Dyer, author of The Power of Intention. I think that might have been the last book that I flipped through. I've got that. I can actually see that book just sitting over there. But we're not reading that one today. We're going to read Serena J. Dyer and Dr. Wayne W. Dyer, Don't Die With Your Music Still In You. And this is Serena, who is Wayne's daughter. My experience growing up with spiritual parents. Anyway, we get to that part in a moment. Let's read this. To have a relationship can be immensely rewarding and fun. Each partnership with those we love and want to love offers incredible experiences that can be found nowhere else. Through that love and the challenge that love brings, we can find out more about ourselves and others than we ever thought possible. But what happens when those challenges becomes too much? When finding and enjoying a relationship feels impossible? Through Esther and Jerry, the all-encompassing knowledge of Abraham, described by Jerry as the purest form of love I've ever encountered, offers solutions and advice to anyone who wants to find a relationship or improve an existing one, and even help for those who know that their relationship has come to an end. You have the power to master and make the most of the ties that bind and those that set you free. Okay. So we have, interesting, because we finished kind of with Mrs. Encouragement, which is the Queen of Pentacles. We've got the King of Pentacles here. Let's have a look and see what Channel of Love card wants to come out for you. 2244 on the clock. Well, that's a few cards there. We should take them. A change of direction. Okay, so I feel this king, well, he's a king. The King of Courage, Mrs. Encouragement. It's like you've enforced courage onto him. A change of direction. And then we have Mr. Romantic. Or Mr. Lover. They call him Mr. Bombastic. Okay. He's feeling whole again. You can make me whole again. Looking back on when we first met, I cannot escape and I cannot forget. Baby, you're the one. You still turn me on. And you can make me whole again. Okay, let's have a flick through this book. I know you want to listen to that audio. It's called The Vortex, Esther and Jerry Hicks. Research it. It may be out there for you, where you can get your hands on it without buying the book. Anyway, I'd say buy the book. Right, here's the page. What am I expecting from a relationship? You have the power to evoke from others the relationships that you desire. But you cannot get to a new and improved situation by giving your attention to the current situation. The universe and all physical and non-physical players in it is responding to the vibrations that you are offering, and there is no distinction made between the vibrations that you offer as you observe and the vibrations that you offer as you imagine. If you will simply imagine your life as you want it to be, all cooperative components will be summoned. And even more important, all components that are summoned will cooperate. It is law. You have the power to evoke from others a relationship that is in harmony with the freedom and the growth and the joy that you seek, because within each of the others are those probabilities. Within each of them is the probability of someone being very understanding or not, of someone being very pleasant or not, of someone being very open-minded or not, of someone being very positive or negative. The experience that you have with others is about what you evoke from them. Have you had the experience of behaving with someone in a way that you had not intended? It just sort of came out of you suddenly. That was you experiencing the power of influence from another's expectation. Have you noticed the personality of a child changing depending on which adult it is interacting with? That's interesting, because that's kind of like what the next book is, isn't it? My experience growing up with spiritual parents. So have you noticed the personality of a child changing depending on which adult it is interacting with? Cooperative and pleasant with one person, and obstinate and cranky with the other, with another. You are witnessing the power of influence from another's expectation. When you train yourself into steady alignment with your own broader perspective, you will tap into the energy that creates worlds, and you will be pleased by the positive response that you receive from those around you. No longer blame others with whom you share relationships, and instead acknowledge that you are the attractor of your experience. True freedom comes from that understanding. As you tend to your relationship between you, and in brackets it says in your physical focus, and the broader perspective of your inner being, as you train yourself into the good feeling thoughts of your source, as you come into alignment with who you really are, as you learn to love yourself, the others with whom you interact will not be able to buck that current of well-being. They will either love you back, or they will gravitate out of your experience. Okay, I feel like we've got some questions here that Jerry asks Abraham, and Abraham comes through his wife Esther. So she is in this state of or she's in this state of being where she can channel Abraham's messages. So this question is, what are the desired characteristics of a perfect mate? Jerry, this is Jerry asking the question. Is it possible for one person, the same mate, to continue to be our perfect mate even though we are growing and changing and evolving? I mean, there was a time in my life when I was an acrobat and I had to be able to throw my partner high and catch her, and so she had to be under 5 feet tall and weigh under 98 pounds. And when I met Esther many years later, none of that was relevant anymore. Other things attracted me to Esther, and so she was my perfect mate at the time she came into my life. So it seems that monogamy, or being with one person forever, could be pretty challenging. Okay, Abraham. This is Abraham's response. As you are moving through the details of your life experience, you are continually generating new preferences from the details of your new, current experiences. That process never stops. Those rockets of desire are received and held by your inner being, in your vibrational reality. In other words, every new experience causes you to amend, in small and large ways, your new version of the life you desire, and your inner being never ceases to keep up with the new version. As you, through the power of your focus, hold yourself predominantly in an attitude of feeling good, you stay up to speed with your own vibrational reality, and so it continues to unfold and present itself to you in natural and comfortable ways. In other words, you have a continuing feeling of this is the next logical step as you allow the perfect unfolding of your own life experience. And so it is possible that a new partner is the next logical step for who you have become. But if that is the case, the releasing of one mate and the receiving of another would not be an uncomfortable or unpleasant situation. It is a rather illogical and impossible standard that your culture seems to want to hold you to when you make the statement, I will stay together with you in sickness, and in brackets, no matter the situation, until death do us part. A much better intention or vow would be, it is my dominant intent to focus my thoughts in a positive direction so that I may maintain my connection with the source and the love that is really who I am, and in doing so, I will always present the best of myself to you. It is my desire that you ask the same for yourself, and it is my expectation that as each of us works to maintain our individual alignment with who we really are, our relationship with one another will be one of continual and joyful expansion. Okay. Let's get an orange card, because I didn't put an orange card for this section. Okay, stand and deliver in reverse. So why are we not able to stand and deliver? Okay, well, I can smell the smell. Oh, okay. I was going to say I can smell the smell of burning, but my candle's just gone out. I thought it had gone a bit dark in here. Okay. Should we light another candle? We can light another candle. What fragrance would you like? I have a few, okay. More than a few. Let me choose let's go for this box. I have 3 little boxes. Full of little tea light candles. I don't know if you can see them. Oh no, you can't. There's little candles in there, look. Should we go for this one? I think we should go for this one. Okay. This one's called Raspberry Rhubarb. That sounds good. 33:03 on the clock. Raspberry Rhubarb. Let's go for this one. There we go. Can you see that in there? It's in there. Raspberry Rhubarb. Okay, right. I standed and delivered. I lit the flame. Let's have a look at this fourth book. This fourth book. Let's pull a Rider-Waite tarot card. Stand and deliver. Money of your life. Okay, decision time. This is the card of decisions. You can see your options. What really stands out is this figure here who's undercover, under pressure. Okay, let's just come down. I feel that pressure is only the pressure that you're putting onto yourself. I feel like it's a soul calling, a soul longing. I can do this. That's the attitude. Chariot energy. I can do this. I can stand and deliver. Well, let's get an orange card. The bear is out of hibernation. I can do this. So it's like the decision has been made. Well, let's read this book first. Don't die with your music still in you. Oh, it takes me to the front cover of the first book, the second book that we read. All these are they birds or butterflies? These are birds and butterflies. What's in a label? That's interesting because I spoke about labels the other day when from the Lover's Oracle came the card about pure love, not knowing the difference between mother, father, husband, wife, son, daughter. Okay. So first of all, it's Serena that's talking. Okay, this could be... let's just go with this. I'm not sure where I'm going to stop reading. It's getting quite dark in this room. So what's in a label? When I was a kid, Dad loved to make a big dramatic scene when I wanted to be right, which was all the time. One of my very favourite memories happened when I was in first grade. I came home from school really upset because a boy in my class had called me stupid in front of everybody. Now, I imagine most fathers would have consoled their 6-year-old daughters, assuring them that they weren't stupid and the boy was wrong and mean. Not mine. You must have believed this boy if you made his opinion of you more important than your own opinion of yourself, Dad said. Do you think you're stupid? No, I replied. I'm super smart. Well, what if tomorrow this boy comes into class and says, yesterday, Serena, you were stupid, and today you are a car? Would that make you a car? Of course, I started cracking up at the thought of being a car. How ridiculous. Dad got Sans and Sage involved, even though they were only 4 and 2 years old at the time. He got them down on all fours playing car, saying, Serena, you're a car. This little boy said so. I thought the whole thing was so funny. All of us were laughing, and even though I was pretty young, what he was implying made perfect sense. That day, my dad taught me an important lesson. Just because someone puts a label on me, that doesn't mean it's true. It says nothing about who I am. If anything, it says something about them. It's my belief that if parents would teach this to children at a young age, bullying would become much less prevalent because name-calling would no longer have such an effect. I was the scrawniest little kid in class, but I had the most confidence of anyone. I knew that what other people thought or said about me was none of my business. Interestingly, letting go of others' opinions was easier for me when I was younger than it is now. I'm still confident about who I am, but not all my plans have entirely panned out. Back when I was in school, if someone asked me what I did for a living, I simply told them I was getting my master's. It seemed to earn me some respect, but after I got my degree, I didn't start a career right away. When people would ask me what I was doing, I felt embarrassed to admit I wasn't sure yet. I had become so used to seeing my value as a person tied to what I was doing. When I was doing nothing, I felt like I was nothing. All of the great parenting and confidence building I received as a young person did not prevent me from feeling this way. Thankfully, in writing this book, I have reconnected with myself. I have begun to see how pointless all of my negative thoughts really were. No one else was putting that pressure on me or making me feel this way. I was choosing to feel insecure. I can't really explain why I would choose to feel bad, but I noticed myself shy away from things that I knew would make me feel better. I was down and looking for more reasons to stay down. One day it clicked that I could go back to being the confident, happy, carefree girl that I so fondly remembered being. From that day forward, whenever I was faced with a decision between something that would make me feel good about myself and something that would make me feel bad, I chose to feel good. This could have been deciding not to have a second glass of wine at dinner, or not picking a stupid fight with my husband. Other times, it was choosing to stay in at night because I needed to get some writing done. When I write, I feel fulfilled in a way that partying can't touch. I realised that if I wanted to feel good and light and peaceful, I needed to make choices that would help me align with feeling those things. How we feel about ourselves is a choice. This was what Dad was teaching us with his zero tolerance on blame. Blaming others or ourselves makes us feel worse, not better. Instead, we must choose what feels good. For me, this means looking for opportunities to love and understand and forgive, to align with the type of situations I really want in life. I decided to stop blaming myself for not being further along in my career than I was. Instead, I started to focus on loving myself and accepting my life exactly as it was. At that point, my life started to change for the better. And at this point, I think that's enough today. Okay, guys, I will catch up with you soon. Until then, take care. Much love. Bye for now.